Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a publical figure.
Okay, so today we're going to be going over the video where Mr. Snowflake talks about his interview with Emily. So we're going to hear her side of the Rarity events.
Oh boy.
Hey y'all, quickly before we get into this video, I just want to let you know that I did have to split it into 2 parts again. I know, I'm so sorry. It's just I really wanted to get something out for you this weekend with Mr. Delulu in it, and I'm not 100% sure if I'll be able to finish both parts in one night, because I do have to do the members only edit and then go through and redact some parts for the general public because of YouTube's terms of service and monetization abilities. So I do apologize for that. This video here is going to be including just the parts that are relevant to Emily and Amber's relationship leading up to the events of Rarity going missing, and then the second part will be the timeline that will be still going out over the long Memorial Day weekend, whether that be a little bit later tonight or tomorrow. But I have been kind of keeping this on the low, but at this point I feel like it's starting to affect my posting schedule, so I have to kind of come out and say it. I am extremely pregnant. I'm expecting a baby in the near-ish future, and I'm just getting to the point of pregnancy where I am so tired and I need a lot of extra rest. And so that's why my schedule has been a little funky. I'm planning on revisiting what my schedule is supposed to look like and posting something for you guys on my community tab once I figure out what I need in order to be able to get that rest. But either way, I don't want to go on about that too long. I want to go ahead and get into the video that you guys clicked on for, but I wanted to let you know that it's not going to be exactly talking about the Rarity timeline in this video, but it will be the next one, which will be coming out this long weekend.
I don't even know where to begin or start.
Hi everyone, this is me talking with Emily. Right, here we go. Hi Emily, hope all is well. What made you want to come out now and discuss your time with Amber? Honestly, I was content staying silent for a long time, but I'm tired of watching her dodge any real accountability. She creates her own reality and then expects everyone to play along. The sad part is most people do because they're either scared of her or don't want to deal with the drama. But I hit a point where I just couldn't sit back and watch her keep rewriting the truth. So I say, well, I'm glad you have decided to speak up, so I guess we start at the beginning. I'm guessing everything was fine at the start of the relationship, or were there any little red flags? She says, at first everything was great. I really thought I had found someone who was kind, laid back, and just fun to be around. She was able to carry on a conversation, and it's hard to find these days. Looking back now, I obviously was looking at everything through rose-coloured glasses. She really made it seem like she was this grounded, supportive person. I told her upfront that I was grieving Colleen, and still will be.
So, this is the alleged feed talking about grieving over her that died, right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what I can say about that.
It was her fiance that died, the one that I showed you the picture of.
Yeah.
Which, just so you know, she talks about how much she loves Colleen and how it's like such a big deal, which like I don't want to minimize her grieving, but she did tell Amber the same things that she said about Colleen in Colleen's funeral speech.
Okay.
So there's some speculation on what's going on with Emily's true feelings, because she says that Colleen was like her one true love, but then her funeral speech literally has some of the same lines that she texted to Amber.
She said she understood, respected that. She said it wouldn't be an issue at all. That was super important to me, for her to be accepting of it, and for a little while it felt good. We actually had fun together. We laughed, joked around, and it was chill. I genuinely enjoyed spending time with her before she started showing me who she really is. I guess it was a typical scenario of love bombing. After everything I had been through, it was just nice to feel wanted and not so alone anymore.
So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that Emily here has been following Amberlynn for as long as she had, and something took her by surprise? Like, so I'm not following here, because just watching her streams or her videos, whatever, her content, you can kind of figure out she's kind of a
So first of all, I don't know, you have to kind of take Amber out of it for a second and imagine, you know how sometimes somebody is just like so attractive to you that you kind of miss the red flags that everybody else sees because you're just like, wow, she's like really hot. And you have to remember that that's how Emily feels about Amber.
Yeah, but she's like world famous for being a lol though.
Okay, but two Amber's credit. First of all, she is not smart, but she is a great manipulator. And we saw that on the LCU. There was a time when she was pretending that she didn't know she was being recorded, and she actually came off very nice to the point where Mr. Snowflake, who we are reacting to right now, literally was like, oh, this is a nice version of Amber. I like this version. I wish we could see this more. But she totally knew she was being recorded and she was faking it.
Okay.
So she has a personality that is a good personality. She just doesn't bring it out very often because I think it's difficult for her to maintain on a long-term basis. And for her fans, because she does have fans, she's always saying that people are twisting her words and out to get her. So she is pretty capable of making it seem like haters are just misunderstanding her.
So she's got this insane personality that is a public cover for a reasonably nice personality, which according to Emily here is just a cover for her secretly more insane personality. Is that what we're coming with here?
Pretty much. Basically what it is that she has one true horrible personality that is her true self and is also what she portrays herself as online. However,
okay,
she has a false personality that she is able to wear for a short period of time that makes her seem reasonable, and then she will tell people that she's just trolling to get views and that she's really an understanding person. So like in Emily's case, she was like, I totally understand you still being heartbroken about Colleen, and like, you know, I get it. I would definitely give you space on that. I know that online I come off as being like very close to my partners and like needing to control them, but that's just a bit for online. People hate me anyway, so why not play it up to get paid? And then as you will see, clearly that fades very quickly. And important context for you to know, I can see you really want to make commentary, but really quick before you say that. She has done this before to a girl named Valentine who was a hater and reached out and started flirting with her as a joke.
Wait, who? Emily or Amber?
Amber. And this person was called Valentine. That's like who we're referring to. So
Okay.
Valentine reached out to Amber to troll her. She watched like reaction channels and she reached out to Amber and like started flirting with her like as a bit. I think that she was probably trying to get information to sell to reaction channels, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Anyways, Valentine ended up falling for Amber and Valentine was married at the time. So that's the level of manipulation that we're talking. She can literally get a hater who's already married to cheat on her wife with her. So just keep in mind that Amber does have a very good manipulative personality.
This is insane.
I
Okay.
know. But you were asking in one of our previous videos why girls get with her, and this is why.
Okay. All right. She's just that. She's got the wily charm.
Sure.
And I say, was it still nice when she came to stay with you? How long was she meant to stay for? Emily says, there were a few little red flags early on, like how Amber would get upset if I didn't FaceTime her for hours every single day. Or if I was busy at work and didn't have time to message her.
Yes, I was very codependent with Destiny, and I can admit that. I can absolutely admit that. I will admit that 100%. I wanted either like a text or like a call just to be like, I love you. My day's been good. That's all. That's all. Because I was home alone 24/7. I'm not perfect. Beck wasn't perfect. Like I was super controlling of their time, of like their energy. I always wanted them near me, like always.
She'd take it personally and get upset. During my first visit to Oklahoma, things actually seemed to go really well, but it was a short trip and we were still in that honeymoon phase. It was during my second visit that things started to feel off. She would get irritated if I checked my phone or responded to messages that weren't about her or focused on her. That visit also happened right after she posted who I was and the doxing stuff that followed, so tensions were high, so I kind of brushed it off at the time, thinking it was just stress.
So when they talk about the doxing stuff, that's when Emily had first gone there, people started looking into who Emily was, and that's when they started telling Amber that Emily was a feed and about her job and stuff. So that's what they're talking about.
Alleged.
Well, that's what people were saying.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so people were talking about Emily, and so that's why she was like, oh, okay, well, maybe she's more concerned because I'm in the middle of being doxxed, so maybe, kind of makes sense. And
Okay.
keep in mind, Valentine was right before this where she got in trouble with the girl's wife and everything, so,
Okay.
I can see where Emily's coming from.
But everything really started to change when Amber came to visit me. She was originally only supposed to stay for a week or two, tops. It wasn't going to be some extended thing. We were planning on probably around 2 weeks. I think she stayed like 3 months, wasn't it? 3 or 4 months? 2 weeks, because that's when I'd be off work and able to take her home. But by day two, I've only seen these, was it last night? I haven't slept for ages, didn't I? I've only seen these once as I was talking to Emily. So I've probably forgotten most of it. Because that's when I'd be off work and able to take her home. But by day 2 of her being at my house, things already started to shift. It was weird how high-strung she was that early on. Day 2. I don't know what shifted, or it was the change in environment, but she just acted off. She really didn't like that I had a life outside of her. I mean, I work 12-hour shifts. I have a family, friends, pets, a house to take care of. I have responsibilities, but anything that wasn't about her felt like an inconvenience to her, and she made that very clear. Well, by day 2, Jesus. I'd get home from a 12-hour shift, completely exhausted from a stressful job, and she'd get upset if I wanted to go straight to bed. She'd say things like, "Oh, you're not..."
Okay, I'm also kind of surprised you didn't have any commentary just about the fact that she was supposed to go for 2 weeks and she stayed for 3 months and started acting up on her second day there.
I could, for day 2, okay, sure, that's crazy. She's being demanding the second day there. But also, it's just a new environment, so I'll give the benefit of the doubt.
Right, but I'm saying that it did continue for 3 months.
Yeah, no,
I'm just saying that's what Emily has been going through for 3 months. So keep that in mind with all the personal details she's spilling.
Gotcha.
3 months of dealing with that's hefty.
Want to hang out with me, or ask me to take her to the casino or go shopping. And if I said no, she'd get upset and compare it to her working on vlogs all day. Oh yeah.
Someone actually gave me the idea, 3-minute vlogmases. Like, and if you go over 3 minutes, then awesome, that's amazing.
Comparing a 12-hour shift to a 3-minute vlog.
At least you're uploading every single day, even if it's 3 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of a good idea.
Saying she still had the energy to do things, so I should too. Amber expected me to be constantly available. If I didn't text or call during my breaks, I'm sure we've done this with Destiny, or if I wasn't giving her attention constantly, she'd get upset or start a fight. I told her in the beginning that I need to be able to have alone time because that is how I decompress from stress. We've had arguments about that before. She visited too because she didn't like that. She would always accuse me of not loving her and say how terrible of a girlfriend I was. She wanted me to call out of work anytime she was having a crisis, or just felt like she wanted me to stay home.
Are you getting my text? I feel really sick and I am having an anxiety attack. I really need someone.
I think we all suspected that, talked about that. She was always in a bad mood because of this. If I did anything that didn't involve her directly, she would start an argument. I was exhausted, trying to juggle everything in my life, on top of her constantly being mad at me. We'd get into arguments and she just wouldn't let anything go. She would gaslight, deflect, just typical narcissistic behaviour. It got to the point where I started going into the other room just to sleep, because she wouldn't stop arguing with me when I was trying to rest before a shift. She came into the room and stood over the bed. Ugh.
What the
I'm just really surprised that she didn't just keep you locked and cornered into an argument all night and you got no sleep, because if that would have happened with me and her, that's what she would have done with me.
She told me that if I wasn't going to finish the conversation, which was basically her going on and on about how I didn't love her and all this other crap, then said, fine, if I can't have peace from being able to have this conversation, then you aren't going to either. She would then stand next to the bed I was sleeping in and intentionally keep me up all night. I felt like this happened every time she knew I was going to work.
That's just insane. It's just
a literal torture tactic.
Having no life to where you're just
So the fact is that Emily is literally working in healthcare doing 12-hour shifts. So if she goes to work tired and makes a mistake, it's actually very, very severe.
She was intentionally keeping me up because she didn't like that I wasn't home instead of at work. Emily again? Yeah, this stuff was happening more and more frequently. And then I say, sounds like she didn't want you to work and just spend all day at home with her. I'm guessing she used BPD as an excuse for her shitty behaviour. How did I know that? She 100% used, your BPD. Her BPD as an excuse. That's what's frustrating me the most.
Imagine having BPD, unregulated, unmedicated, and finding out just betrayal. Like, you go crazy. Like, you genuinely go crazy.
Okay, so hang on. Is Amber the one here that's got unmedicated BPD, or is she accusing Tommy of Emily of having unmedicated BPD?
She has unmedicated, and she's acting like that is something that she is forced to deal with. She got, according to her, the timelines are iffy. She changes the story all the time. But according to her, she has at minimum known that she had markers of BPD since she was like 12, when she was in foster care or something like that.
Okay.
There are some reports that it was a little bit later, but regardless, it's been since before her 20s that she knows about this. So how she is 35 and acting like this is just something that happened to her.
With no self-awareness, no less.
Correct.
Because it's like, and that's the thing, like, to knowingly subject Emily to all this, never mind the fact that she's working in healthcare, and so she's got responsibilities. Like, she's got actual, like, human grown-up responsibilities, not like this weird infantilized life that Amber leads. Just to torture her over with that is just insane.
And not even just that, it would be another thing entirely if Amber has been single all the way up to this point, and then she gets with Emily and it's like, oh, this is actually affecting somebody else. But she's put this on all of her past girlfriends.
There's no, like, self-awareness of it, because it's like, usually as you grow up, you have relationships and you learn from your mistakes and you grow as a person. Mm-hmm. But it seems like she grows in the inverse. Like, she just gets worse after every relationship.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of it is because she will come online and say, like, oh, I take accountability, or I did this wrong, or I can admit that I'm a controlling girlfriend, which admittedly is new even. Like, she wasn't saying any of that really for her past girlfriends, but after Beck and the internet outrage, she kind of was able to come on and feign taking accountability.
But I imagine she's always had, like, some degree of, like, sycophants that are sticking up for her and making excuses for her, right? Or is everyone just dogging on her all the time?
She has some fans, but to put it into perspective, on the LCU, they would have, like, thousands of people.
Well, the LCU is recent.
Well, I'm saying to put it in perspective for you.
Okay.
They would have thousands of people in there, and she had a show where the people weren't dogpiling, so she had, like, a dogpile show and then a show for her fans.
Okay.
And the show for her fans, which, keep in mind, somebody else in there also had fans before she joined, was only getting 200 views. So comparatively, if you're looking at everything, it's mostly just the dogpiling.
Yeah, but then she can kind of choose what she looks at, though. I know a lot of people do that, where they got 1,000 haters and they got 10 fans. Like, oh, these 10 people really like me.
That's true. And also, she's on TikTok unmonetized, and her fans over there are a lot nicer. She still gets people in her comments, like, posting crazy screenshots of her when she looks like crazy and stuff. But most people are like, oh, face card never declines, makeup looks great. So on TikTok, she does have a following of people who don't buy into the girl world stuff.
Isn't TikTok all bots now?
I mean...
All right, well, anyway, moving past that.
Anytime she'd have one of her tantrums, she wouldn't take any accountability and say it's because she has BPD. And she'd be like, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. When she would literally scream at me about something, like taking 4 minutes longer than I said I would.
Did you really set a timer? I did a couple times. Yes.
Taking 4 minutes longer than I said I would. When I went outside to smoke. Alright, I told her she can't use that as an excuse if she refuses to do anything to help herself to get better. She made a lot of false promises of getting into therapy. She told me in so many different occasions that she was signed up and she never went. I remember a video of her saying, oh yeah, I found a therapist here in Wisconsin.
So I have actually found a psychiatrist / therapist who I'm going to be speaking to. I'm going to be calling. I have not called yet. I have discovered them. I have found them. I know about them and they know nothing about me yet.
Oh, I feel so bad for that therapist. I hope she gets paid.
She didn't see her.
Oh, okay, go figure.
But so here's the thing. Imagine coming online after years, literally over a decade of people saying, like, girl, get therapy. You come onto the internet and you say, you guys, I'm so proud of myself. I found a therapist, but they don't know anything about me. Girl, you did a Google search. Like,
Yeah, I was
be
going
so
to
for
say, at
real.
that point, if you haven't even made an appointment, that's...
Well, she doesn't even have health insurance, so it's not like she has to find somebody who takes her health insurance. She literally did a Google search.
It's cash, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is me. Yeah, I remember a video where she said she found a therapist in Wisconsin, and I thought, right, she's been awful to Emily, and this is her way of saying, hey, I'm going to get help. Because that's what she did with Beck a lot. I'll work on myself, I'll improve, and it didn't last very long.
So I was going to see a BPD therapist when I was in Wisconsin, but they were located in Wisconsin.
Why does that shirt make her look so much more...
It looks like it's a really bad material, but I was actually thinking about how the pillow on the couch matches, so she actually got camo for her natural environment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's flesh tone and then...
And then couch tone.
Yeah. You got flesh tone, couch tone, and shadow. So that is a perfect amber apartment camouflage pattern. I like it.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot what you were trying to say. Oh, just about the shirt.
It's just why... It
looks like it's polyester, which honestly, why are you buying polyester clothes making the kind of money well, I guess she doesn't really have many options.
Well, that actually reminds me. This might have to get cut out.
It will get mentioned later in this video.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, let's go.
And I was a dumb, wasn't thinking at the time, and I do not live in Wisconsin. I live in Oklahoma. So now I have to re-find someone.
Just me again? So what would you do all day when you were at work? I'm going to take a guess and say nothing. Lay in bed all day watching reaction channels. How could I have gotten that right? Yep, that was one of her manipulative tactics and staying longer when it was getting to the point where I was asking her to leave. She thought she would get a therapist here. I'd let her stay so she could do the therapy. She did a whole lot of nothing, to be honest. She'd sit around and watch YouTube videos, including reaction channels, all day.
Reaction channel, reaction channels, reaction channels, reaction channels.
Shocking. I did her laundry. Again, I think Casey did all the laundry.
Because me and my mom would do her laundry.
I remember back then I would do our laundry for us. I didn't really like people touching my laundry. I still really don't, but I let Destiny do it because I trust her. Chris always does the laundry.
I cleaned up after her and took care of the pets. She won't ever let Twinkie or the dogs out during the day when she was home, so I'll come home from work. Oh yeah, I have to clean up Twinkie's pee off my brand new floor that I put in. I was really proud of that floor because I recently just put it in and I did it myself, which is a lot of hard physical work. Well, Amber knows about that.
She's claiming property damages because her dog pees on her carpet, and then Twinkie also was peeing on her carpet. They both were peeing on the carpet. Like, while we were sleeping, they both. So what I did was I bought this really expensive, I bought 2 of them, this really cool, like, gate type thing.
So just in case you missed it because we were kind of chatting, so she's saying that the dog peed on the carpets in the laminate floor, which again, Tommy just laid the floor, and you know how hard that is. And that in order to like make it up to her, she got a expensive dog gate. And I think she's going to mention an expensive vacuum in a second here. If the damage is already done, it doesn't matter, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, like, you're like bragging about how expensive the stuff you got was, but it didn't solve the problem. So it doesn't really matter how much you spent on it. Like, you should pay for Emily's floor.
Well, I was gonna say, at that point, especially given how much money Amberlynn is making, there's no excuse to just not pay a company to just replace the floor, because LVP is not particularly expensive to install. Like, you got a couple grand, you can do, a couple thousand square foot. I mean, depends on where you're at, but that's not an expensive procedure.
Right. And she's saying carpet. I don't know how much of it was carpet versus LVP, but carpet is really cheap to replace. So, and even if she didn't want to do that, I mean, there's a chance that if she had acted quickly enough, which again, she has the money to do, she could have got like Stanley Steamer out there to take care of it, if she did it like same day or something.
Yeah, I don't know how, I mean, I guess it depends on the brand. LVP, it depends on if you're buying the cheap stuff. I don't know how bad the damage would be from urine like that. But either way, yeah, the point is the same. No excuse for not getting that fixed.
Yeah.
that she actually still has up to block the yeah, there was pee pads down as well, just for like at night when we were both sleeping and they both had a mind of their own, you know. I use pee pads. Actually recently started using pee pads for when I'm sleeping. I have an elderly dog.
For some reason, I thought she was saying, "Yeah, I use a pee pad while I'm sleeping. What of it?" And then she talked about the dog, and I was like, "Oh, wait, okay."
Should I tell him?
Oh no! What are you gonna tell me?
This is just a tinfoil hat theory that a lot of people believe, but because of her size and the fact that she can only wear, I wish you guys could see his face right now. Because of her size and the fact that she can only wear these like black leggings, people have said that she's been Winnie the Poohing it, where she just wears a dress and sits on a pee pad. And there was a live stream where she shifted and you could see she wasn't wearing pants and there was a crinkle. And so some people are taking that as confirmed. So yeah, none of it's good.
I mean, at that point, isn't it?
But it's also like, at what point is this woman gonna like get to her rock bottom? You know, she had cancer that she had to get like surgically removed, and she swore blind that would be her rock bottom. And I think it was within a week she was back to eating like shit.
Well, what was the cancer? Was it related to her obesity or was it something else?
Obesity increases all risk of cancer as far as I'm aware, but it was uterine cancer.
Okay. So
but she had to have like a full hysterectomy, which for a woman's a huge fucking deal. Like she can't have kids anymore. And like I know, like she shouldn't have kids.
I mean, that's probably for the best.
She shouldn't have kids, but I'm just saying, like, for a woman, it's a big deal because she can't have kids anymore, which is something she did want to do, and she also like had to go through menopause early, which is like horrible.
Yeah, that can't be good.
So, you know, if that's not a wake up call to be like, you know, because like that's my thing is that like, okay, let's say that she didn't have cancer. Then surely getting to the point where the store that you buy your clothes from only has one size up from your current size, or to the point where you can't wear pants or pads or underwear to the point where you're like, where speculation that you are using a puppy pad is somewhat realistic and people have to consider if that's true. Like, that's not a wake-up call for you either.
No, that's that's bad.
It just happens. Dogs are dogs. Oh, like I tried to fix it, like genuinely, and then I ended up buying a whole steam cleaner for her. Like I tried to fucking fix it, bro. But it's crazy because she has this cat named Princess, which she keeps trying to throw out, by the way, on the streets, and I keep telling her not to.
Okay, first of all, I don't like the fact that she's saying that Emily wants to throw Princess out on the street, because keep in mind, and we'll see the receipts or whatever, but even by Amberlynn's account, Emily was out there helping search for Rarity. Emily made the posters. Emily drove her places. Amber said that she was not big, or that she is too big to like go on foot, and so Emily would do that kind of thing. So to say that somebody would put that much effort into finding somebody else's cat, but that would be willing to throw their own cat on the street, but just hasn't done it yet, come on, I don't believe that for a second.
No, that doesn't check out.
She has a cat that pees all over the fucking downstairs, on the carpet, on the chair, on the couch, on the clothes, on the this, on the that.
What's the deal with her choker?
So she always wears a choker, and she has for a very, very long time, if not the entire time she's been on.
It draws attention to how absurd her neck is. Although then again, maybe without it, it just wouldn't look like she has a neck at all. So
well, that's what I was about to say. The main speculation is the fact that she wears it to make herself look skinnier, to like to emphasize the fact that she has a neck. But it's kind of, if that is the case, it's kind of bit her in the ass, because people judge her fatness by that, like how much you can see the choker in each video.
Okay.
So, stop trying to fucking blame me and my dog for everything in your life, because I will literally come for you. Oh.
It literally ruined the flooring because the pee would sit there until I got home from work to clean it. If you remember one of her vlogs, she talked about her responsibilities. of letting the pets out.
So on days that Tommy works, especially, like, I have the same, like, morning routine. I'll wake up, take the dogs out, refill cat food, dog food, water. It's just, like, every day, just my go-to.
That lasted about 2 days. This started a lot of fights too.
It's just back at home in Oklahoma, like, my routine is just a little bit different. So having to form another routine, you know, here in Wisconsin is a little hard.
What do I say? Disgusting. Only time I remember her talking about her responsibility with the pets was when she did the video explaining how Rarity got out.
So usually I take the dogs out and this curtain is usually open.
I'm sure she talked about that stuff before, but I just can't remember. Actually, before I ask you about Rarity, how bad did the tantrums get? What was the worst? If you're okay talking about it, if not, I'll shut my face. The tantrums slowly escalated each time. It started with just her shouting at me, to escalating to her slamming doors and punching walls. Anytime I tried to leave the room, she would block doorways. She was also really jealous. Anytime I talked about Colleen, I wasn't allowed to share memories or say anything about it really anymore, or she would end up getting really upset and pissed off at me for the rest of the day.
I know how much she loved Colleen and still does. Like, I fully get that. During arguments, she would literally tell me, "You're never going to be Colleen." Like, just saying how much better Colleen was. Like, I had to literally compare myself, and I was in competition with Colleen every single day of my life. Every single day of my life. Every single day that I was with her. But to continuously use Colleen as like a weapon.
How does somebody who barely functions in the world because of how morbidly huge they are get jealous of somebody that's even huger? That is an insane concept. That is insanity.
Well, I guess if you can't shoot for being skinny, you have to shoot for the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
But what I was going to say is that it's kind of crazy to me. Like, okay, I'm trying to parse through what actually happened. Because keep in mind, Emily is a bad person as well. Like, Emily is not a good person either. But I just don't know if I believe that Emily was sitting there being like, "You're never going to be Colleen," without Amber bringing it up first. So this really makes me wonder if Amber's like, she would constantly say that I would never be as good as Colleen. But I wonder if Amber said something first to elicit that response.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I just don't trust anything Amber says on this. Like, I'm sure that somebody who is an alleged fetus is not a good person if that's your hobby, is like making someone like that. It's not
just that. It's also the fact that every time they have an argument, the first thing she does is run to reaction channels, and she's been caught selling information to reaction channels.
I mean...
Still together, by the way.
Get your bag.
Still together, by the way.
Well, I mean, that seems like a win-win. I mean, they're both making money off it, right? Doing a little good cop, bad cop routine. Okay, all right.
It became awkward for me.
It was really hard, but the worst of the tantrums was actually the night before Rarity went missing. She saw me scrolling through my phone and there was women on my Instagram feed. She flipped out and said I was micro-cheating.
I got really fucking upset. Obviously, anyone, even mentally well people would have been pissed, would have been so fucking hurt. Probably marriages would have been divorced, like that type of deal. Okay, so we get in a big fight. Duh.
She says that, and then people in her, that was a live stream, people in her comments were like, "Oh my gosh, what is it? Is it CP?" You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh my god, what was it? Was it CP? Like, what was the thing that was so bad that it would be like earth-shattering to learn about?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh my god, you guys, it was bigger women bigger than me on oxygen tanks in the hospital."
With oxygen tanks? Oh no.
Well, the thing to me is like, okay, we're married.
I'm sorry. I'm good. She was looking at pictures of women bigger than me.
On oxygen tanks in the hospital.
Oh my, all right.
Okay, but the thing to me is that we're married. Yeah. Okay. If I saw you scrolling on your phone looking at pictures of morbidly obese women in hospitals on oxygen tanks. First of all, thank God we're not in the kind of relationship where I would have to wonder if you were cheating or if you were doing some kind of other project. But let's say you were into that for just a moment. I don't think that I would be like reacting as strongly as she is. Like, they weren't naked or anything. They were just in the hospital. Like, you know what it, like, that would be like catching your man on Instagram looking at Instagram models. It's still not great, and conversations would be had, but I don't think that's like the earth-shattering marriage ending thing.
I was gonna say, I don't think couples are getting divorced over stuff like that unless they've already got other like severe issues they're working through.
Or if it's like an kind of thing, something like that, like I could see that. But I'm just saying, like, the way she said it, like, people really were concerned that it was something super serious.
Okay, hear me out. Someone dating a I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
You're not.
No, well, censor it. Oh my god, I'm sorry, this is all so fucked up.
The argument escalated really fast. That was the first time she got physical with me. She threw things at me.
And she ends up throwing the can at my car. Made me mad.
You saying if I could hit someone, I would? Okay. I can throw this at someone's head.
Did Amber throw a glass at your mom? Yes. She did.
Like, the fuck? I could take this and throw it?
Her proving she's not violent, by the way.
I'm just not a physically abusive person.
I told her I was going to leave the room. She then grabbed my arm and dug her nails into my arm to the point of drawing blood.
All I remember is she got mad and she grabbed my arm. Dug her nails into my arm.
I tried pushing past her to get through the doorway, and she pushed back into me and actually falling on top of me.
Oh no. I'm surprised that's not lethal.
I mean, it's just a lot. Because, like, the other thing, too, is, like, think about how intimidating it is. It's not like if I was blocking the door and you were trying to leave. You know, you can skirt around me.
Yeah.
Amber she lives in a disabled apartment, so the doors are extra wide, and she takes up the whole door frame. that would be so scary.
It would be, yeah. And just like the whole fall, oh, she fell on me. Like, dude, that legitimately
is scary.
Because 500 pounds.
Keep in mind, I say 500 to be nice. People speculate she's in the high 600s.
Okay. Well, either way, being generous, 500 pounds, that kills people. Like, just speaking like in the industrial setting, if you have a weight that's over a couple hundred pounds, that's like, okay, this is a crane operation. This is no longer a you're getting underneath it situation.
No, yeah, it's like actually really scary. And on top of that, she like scratched up Emily's arm too. Now, granted, it wasn't like the biggest scratch in the world, but still, I mean, that hurts. So she's like being intimidated because she's not being allowed to leave rooms. She's like sleep deprived at this point because apparently Amber's just depriving her of sleep whenever she fucking feels like it. Her arm is scratched. Now you got 500 pounds tumbling on top of you.
Yeah, not a good situation, but maybe this is kind of a karma thing.
But this was 2 days before Rarity went missing is what I'm getting at. Because don't forget, the point of the video.
Yeah, the whole topic of this insanity is the cat still.
Is the cat.
Okay,
yes.
all right, we're back on track.
And also, just before we continue, Amber recounts this story, and how she describes it is she goes, because she's going to recount a little bit, but she's not going to say the quote. But this drives me upset. Crazy. How she frames it is she goes, and then Emily said, help, you fell on me. And it's like, why would you mock that? Like, it is a actual hazard.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that she would mock it after the fact, I'm like, you don't feel remorse.
I remember I tripped over her rug. I landed into her. She fell on the ground. And I'm like, as that's happening, I'm trying to get her, like, as she's falling, I go to grab her off the ground.
Well, what I was pausing to say is her story there doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you were like just so entranced by the appearance of her, but she says that...
Yeah, no, she tripped on the rug and fell into her.
No. She tripped on the rug and Emily was falling, and as they are both falling, she grabs Emily to catch Emily, not to steady herself.
Oh, yeah.
To catch Emily. That is not a normal reflex.
Yeah.
You know, I could buy it if she said that she went to grab onto Emily for support just because that's a natural reflex. But she's really trying to frame it like as she was falling, she went to save Emily. And it's like, that is not a normal like, your body knows that's not going to work, so it doesn't do that.
No.
It didn't work out very well. She still landed on the floor. And then she started like hysterically, how come you pushed me? I'm like,
it is in there.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, I mean, she's going to be freaking out. That's...
Like, how do you not have empathy for her in that moment of, like...
How are you going to make fun of someone getting crushed by 500 pounds? Shit.
Well, I mean, literally, like, God forbid, can you imagine if you accidentally fell on me one day? Like, you would not be mocking me, and you're nowhere near Amber's size. Just, like, the fact of the matter of, like, you accidentally or not fell on somebody.
Yeah, if you knock into someone, you knock them over. I mean...
Especially someone you love. I mean...
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not
never,
like a...
You would never mock me being like, oh my God, you fell on me. Even if, like, you know, after everything was fine, you were like, oh, by the way, like, you know, I'm sorry, but this is what happened, or whatever. Yeah. You would never say I was being dramatic, because you understand the fear in that moment of, like, holy shit, like, I'm falling.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What is actually happening? So she, like, I don't know, it was this whole thing, and I was like, this cannot be real right now.
I said, Jesus. She says, at that point, I was livid. I told her to go back to Oklahoma, and then I was absolutely done. And this is the night before Rarity, right? Oh, it just pissed her off more. She then grabbed a picture of me and Colleen and held it up and threatened to break it.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
She knew that it was something that would hurt me more than anything she could do physically to me. Like the lowest she could go, she let her apologise and then tried begging for me back, saying that it was her BPD. There it is, At first, she denied that she did any of those things, which that sucked too.
No, I never destroyed her ex's photo. This genuinely cannot... Like, I have never been so gaslit.
And I'm like, am I just imagining the gouges out of my arm? She apologised profusely when she knew that she couldn't gaslight me into believing it didn't happen. At that point, I went to my 12-hour shift after that. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, then you went back to work, I said. Right.
Oh, man, the mindset you got to be in to then go to work after that kind of a freaking argument is... Oh, man,
Yeah.
Like, how do you focus on anything when you know, oh, no, I've got a mentally insane 500-pound person in my apartment right now, my house right now, with my animals right now. Like...
Well, Emily kind of painted it as almost a reprieve. Like, she was like, the night that Rarity went missing, which we're going to get into in just a minute here, they're about to get into the timeline or whatever, but Emily literally said that she didn't want to come home. She was afraid to come to her own house.
Yeah,
like,
I believe it.
So I think that part of it for her was like, you know, almost like, thank God I work these long hours right now, because at least I can be away from Amber.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the next clip goes into the beginning of the Rarity timeline, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, and you will hear the rest of Mr. Delulu's reaction to everything in part 2, which again should be out either later tonight or tomorrow, just depending on how far I can get. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think so far. Was there any parts that Mr. Delulu reacted to that you were like, oh, that was a different take than what I thought, or anything that we missed talking on that you wish that he would have addressed? What do you guys think he's going to come down on for his final opinion in the Rarity situation? Because he kind of surprised me with his take, I'm not going to lie. But either way, if you guys made it this far, you already know. Stay Delulu, but not that Delulu. I'll catch you in the next one.